Yeah. Okay. So I forgot to record, but you know, the first thing is to have business ideas for those who listen to the recording. You know, once you have idea, you need to identify a market segment. And then we have some help you can get, like SCORE. I think East Stroudsburg has a SCORE, how do you call it, branch, and Allentown also has one, Service Corps for retired executives. So if you have ideas, you can go to SCORE and then you get help. Like I think Webb, Dr. Xu, and then Dr. Ney, they are both volunteers at SCORE. So they've been telling me to volunteer there, but I'm too busy with my daughter's stuff, and then I live too far. So maybe I'll find something closer here. So yeah, SCORE is like they have retired executives, you know, like Dr. Ney, he was like the top management in a big companies for 30 some years. So he would know a lot, you know, to advise you if you have some ideas. And so you can go to SCORE, and then there are some like in our school we have entrepreneurship center. Is it called entrepreneurship center? It's called, yeah, I think it's called entrepreneurship center. It's across street from the Days Inn, the old Days Inn. Now it's something else. I think someone typed something. Yeah, Innovation Center. Thank you. I don't know if I told you guys, my families, like my families, we don't have, nobody in my family had cancer, but my great grandpa, my great grandma, and my grandpa, they all had Alzheimer's. So my dad now started to worry he might have Alzheimer's. And then my brother and I, you know, we talk about, oh, maybe we can start like taking some, you know, MCT oil and then, you know, stuff. And and I told my dad to get some kind of oil that it will help to sustain your brain tissue, brain cells, so the brain cells won't die, won't age, or won't, how do you call it, like die too early. Yeah. So and I was telling my brother and mother, said, yeah, I'm kind of worried about that too, because that's, you know, when I talk about great grandpa, that's my father's side. My mother's side, my grandparents also have like mild Alzheimer. Yeah. My father's side has like really bad Alzheimer. So my brother is like, I'm more worried because, you know, mother's side relatives also have Alzheimer's. Yeah. So we are worried about Alzheimer's. And then you see, I forget the Innovation Center. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So Innovation Center, we have, they have, actually, you can talk to people there, which I should actually schedule some kind of tour there one day. I'll talk to their director, see if we can schedule some tour. So, you know, when we if we go visit the, you know, Innovation Center, we actually get to meet, like they have incubators there. So they have some people that just started their business there, and the incubators, they charge very minimum rent. I think, I don't remember the correct number, but maybe $199 for the rent. So you get the nice office, and then you get to use the phone, internet, and the fax or whatever. And then you also get to network with the entrepreneurs there. And then they also have the angel investors there. So you can also talk to them, and then they might be able to, you know, they might want to invest in your business idea. And you know, you get help to draft your business plan, you know, stuff like that. And then if you need referral to a lawyer or CPA, you know, they also have all those information. So Innovation Center. Yeah. So the scores. So we can ask questions to, help eliminate possible business that are not right, or we can ask questions, help us to, like I said, twist our ideas. We don't have to stick with the original ideas. Maybe when we see something that our ideas can always change, right? So the thing is that, the first question, how much capital is required to enter and compete successfully in the business? So it's not an easy questions, because if we are not in the business, how are we going to know, right? So one thing about the innovation center or network is, or even schools, you go there and then maybe they will find someone with experience or similar experience. They could give you an idea of how much approximately you will need and how long it would take to get your investment back. Okay, and how long will it take to reach an acceptable level of income? So my brother, let me see if I have the chart. My brother actually started business in Taiwan, and he, here, is it here? No. What is his, maybe income statement, balance sheet? Nope. Okay, so where is it? So he actually had very good, I think, very good maybe budget. Nope. Very good estimate. I'll just show you. Where is his? I don't know where I put his budget. Haagen-Dazs. Oh, maybe here. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I'm going to share the screen. So he wanted to he had two ideas at that time, because he loves to eat. So he always wanted to start a restaurant, and he believed he's a good cook. So he is actually, he cooks really well. And so he had two ideas. So the first one on top, I don't know if you can see that. The first one is to start like the small restaurant in the food court, like the food court we see, usually they're smaller. So the about the food court, the thing is that it's easier, like you don't have to really do a lot of advertisement, because it's food court and people go there, and then they would just purchase, they would just get the food. But the thing is that, so if you can see from his statement, let me see if I can make it bigger. Yeah, so if you see here, the cost of goods sold for food court, he put it 45%. And then for for the cost of goods sold, when he started his own, he put in 60%. So 15% actually goes to advertising, marketing, commercial, stuff like that. So, but in food court, you need to pay 16% of commission. So that's sort of like the rent to use the food court. Okay. and then he has like 2 different ideas. They have different type of cost of goods sold. Okay, so you can see that it's like 15% higher if he started his own business, but in general, so the risk at the food court is smaller, but the risk at his own business will be a little bit higher. And then oh, and on top of the commission, he also needs to pay rent. The rent is higher in the food court, but everything else is the same. So he has the return, you know, how many, I think this is how many years he can get a return. So his net income will be this much, okay? And then the PPP is, you know, how many, either year or month, I think maybe month, you can get the money back. So in the worst case scenario, it takes 53 months, and then best case, you know, it's 9 months. But he actually told me, eventually he started a business in a food court that's near on a rest stop by the highway. So when he looked at when he tried to bid the location, they were the place where they own a food court. They will show you the financial statement of the previous business. So he looked at the previous business financial statement. So that's how he got the information that we were just talking about, right? So how long would it take to get the money back? So he has those kind of information, but and then he also asked around, like, what about other restaurants in the same food court? So he had idea, like the previous owner, their business is not, based on the number, it's not doing so well. But my brother still decided to go because he looked at other business sales. He thought, oh, so that means they have enough traffic, they have enough people coming to the rest stop. So actually all he needs is to make better food so that people will actually stop by. So actually he did, and he said he get his money back in 3 months. So after 3 months, you know, he's making profit. But then COVID hit. So so he, instead of just staying there, like the podcast I share for the Taiwanese business. So the owner, they kind of changed the style. They changed it to the pop-up style. So, you know, so they try to cut the overhead. And for my brother, the rent, the commission is still there. It's fixed that you have to pay for the food court management. So he instead, he would make a lot of like lunch box, and then he would go to the like near the highway. Usually near highway, they have a lot of like industry zone, industry park. So he would drive, he would bring all his lunch box, and he would drive to the industry zone, to the companies, and to, you know, to see if they want to buy the lunch box. And then when he started to do that, he also give them the menu they have, so they can order ahead to order the lunch box. So that's how he, you know, survived through the pandemic. Otherwise, you know, in Taiwan, people are very cautious. Even till today, if I go to Taiwan, I need to do 21-day quarantine. And then they will track you. They will give you phone, and they will make sure you have your phone with you. So, you know, they check the GPS on the phone, and they will call you, make sure you have the phone with you. Otherwise, you get like really high fine. You have to pay the fine. So it's crazy there. So he you know, you have to find a way to kind of change when you have, you know, some kind of situation. So, but the good thing about small business is You know, that's how fast they can convert the way they run business. Okay, so another questions, you know, how long would it to reach an acceptable level of income? So for him, he actually reached the acceptable income pretty soon because his food is actually good. And then he started to think he can start to make the frozen food. It's like the food we get from Trader Joe's, you know, so pre-cooked frozen food. So he can pre-cook those sauce and the stuff, and then all we need to do is just to reheat it, and then it would taste good. So he started to do that, and he sent out a lot of samples to my friends and to his friends, and then asked them to try, you know. So I mean, I think it's very good that as a small business, he's very flexible, you know, he think really quick. So, and you don't have to be big because he only need to, you know, have certain volume of sales to cover the rent, you know, to cover the and the commission. So yeah, so and then how will I live until that time? So like that means that sometimes when we start a business, we have to be very frugal because in the beginning the income wasn't very, you know, stable, or wasn't very good. Like my brother, he's still frugal till today, but so but that's his nature because he's a CPA, he's an accountant, so he calculates numbers carefully. Yeah, he actually likes to compare numbers. I remember one time, oh my goodness, he wanted to visit me, and then he wanted to go to New York City. So he asked me, so how do you go there? I said, oh, usually I drive to what's the place? Forgot the place, but it's like right before, like it's like the last highways exit in New Jersey. So I will go there and I will park there, and I will take path. Is it called path? Yeah, the train to go to New York City. And because I only have me and my daughter, so, or I'll take bus. But he has 4 people in his family. He has 2 kids. So he make Excel calculating the bus cost, and then calculating if he drives to New Jersey, take train, and calculating the gas if he drives to New York City with the parking, with the toll, you know. Eventually he decided to do toll, I mean to drive to New York City. I was like, why did you go through all this to, you know, to save? I don't know how much you saved, not much, but he liked to do that. Okay, so if you want to start your business, you don't have to be like that, but you still need to be very careful, like how you will live. You know, you certainly don't want to get a luxury apartment or luxury place first. You know, you want to start like small. Okay, so my brother is like that, but you think he is poor? He's not poor. He has 4 rental property in Texas. He's making good money. Yeah, so that's just the habit of his. And so, you know, that's something you have to think about. If you're not willing to sacrifice a little bit, it will be very difficult. Okay, so, and then what degree of risk is involved? Are you willing to take the risk? So eventually he decided to go to use food court because it's, like I said, it's less risky, and you would, you know, you almost guarantee there are people going to the food court. So that's you know, that's good, even though it's a little bit more expensive, but you know, yeah. So can you make it on your own, or you need help from family? Okay, and how much work it's involved getting the business going. And sometimes we might underestimate a lot of stuff. So, you know, like my brother's case, like what I show you, he has the best case, the average case, the worst case scenario. So, you know, in your case, you also need to think about those, you know, best case, worst case scenario, and whether or not, if it's worst case, can you still make it? if yes, then, you know, I encourage you guys to try, because you guys are still young. So do you want to acquire a franchise? Do you want to go with a franchise? We actually were thinking about starting a like the bubble tea business here in Pennsylvania using one franchise. But the franchise fee is too high, and I'm like in the middle of nowhere, even though like I live very close to my daughter's school, and her school is a boarding slash, you know, day school. So they have 70% of boarders from, and a lot of them from China. So I think I will get good business, you know, just to sell stuff there. But eventually, you know, we decided not to go with it. But now to think about it, I could just, you know, I could just ask them to order online, and then when I drop off my daughter every day, I can just bring them the drink. I can just make it from home, so I don't have to rent a place. But if it become more popular, then I have to rent a place they can hang out and, you know, stuff like that. So anyway, so those are, you know, some of the questions you should ask. And and then last question, I think it's important. Is this something that you actually would enjoy? You know, a lot of small business owner, they eventually close their business because they stop enjoying doing those things. Okay, too much work. And my brother, so far, I think he's enjoying it. He even asked me, you know, if I'm interested in starting a restaurant business in Taiwan, he can help me. Yeah, so that's something that, you know, you guys can not the business, but, you know, these questions you guys can take a look and see, you know, how feasible your plan is, and then how are you going to, you know, adjust it. So some of the agencies we can go to look for help, like the SBA, Small Business Administration, SBA.gov. You can go to their website. I think I mentioned it last time. They have some kind of grant, also some kind of funding source that you can look up. And the state economic development agencies, some of the trade associations where we can find it, and the Department of Commerce, the local Department of Commerce as well. So you can go to their meetings and then meet the existing business people. So, and then the local colleges, public libraries, Chamber of Commerce, you know, so actually they're like, and then SCORE, like I mentioned, and then local college, you know, you can always talk to your professor or go to Innovation Center. So business selection survey checklist. So this is just something like we just kind of talk about, but now you can write it down in a more organized way. So capital required, you know, approximately how much, degree of risk involved, what kind of risk, you can also put it out there. And then amount of work that involved, independent ownership or franchise or partnership, you know, that's something that you want to think about. The potential of the business, the source of data. Okay, so all these are something that you should try to think about. And then methods of obtaining information about market. So we can do market research. In the library, they actually have data about, you know, the business statistic, like how many gyms are there in the Lehigh Valley area, and then what's their revenue, you know, sales, expenses. So those are the information that you can get. If you guys are interested, we can also have a tour to the library, and then ask them to show us how to use those data. Email me if you're interested, and then I can arrange the tour. Okay, I'm not going to ask you guys to put in the chat box now. Yeah, and then to method to use to study the market, you know, determine the size of the industry. So like the data, I told you the database in the library, they also tells you the population, how do you call it, demographic statistic, like you can put in zip code, you can put in like Lehigh Valley, and then age from certain age to this age, you know, 15 to 35, and then the income, what's, you know, the income level. You can determine like how many populations you have in that particular market, and you know how many, like how much is the annual income you think they can afford your product or service, or are willing to pay for your product or service. Like I remember there was a student, he wanted to start a gym, and so he, you know, he was looking at the information like that. And then even though we thought in Lehigh Valley there are not many gyms, I thought there are like 3 gyms, but when we put in the data, it's actually, we have like more than 20 gyms in the Lehigh Valley area. So you can, you know, you can kind of, and then you can use the database, you can kind of estimate your competition and see how you are going to compete with the existing competitors. Okay, and then also you also need to think about if your idea don't have any competitor yet, you also need to think about, so what if my idea is successful, my business is successful, how am I going to block the new competitor? When I say block, not necessarily stop them from, you know, opening the business, but how are you going to make sure your customer won't switch to the new competitor? Okay, so those are things that you can also think about. And then third, you know, estimate your own share of the market. Like, you know, we want to be conservative. So let's say if the population of what you're targeting is, they have like 100,000 family, then you say, okay, maybe I can target 1% the first year, maybe 2% the second year. So 1% of 100,000 is 1,000. So use that, you know, use that to kind of estimate how much sales you will get, how much revenue, and then how much profit you will get. So that's how we start to write the business plan. You know, you first need to do marketing research, and then, you know, estimate how many percent of share you get from the market, or how many customers you might be able to get. So, and then estimate the size of the market, how large is the industry. You know, like I mentioned, and we don't necessarily need to like really know how large is the industry, but we can kind of estimate, you know, maybe the income between, I don't know, 50,000 to 150, they would purchase this product. Okay, and then maybe certain percent of people purchase this. So you just need to set up the, you know, the numbers, and then see how your estimate will be. Yeah, but it has to be logical. Okay, so you cannot just say, oh, pick up a number. No, it's better to be logical, or you can start like a very brief survey, asking people like, are you willing to pay for this service or product? And then, you know, what's your income level, you know, stuff like that. And then use that as the base for, you know, more research. So so are sales to be made to a selected age group? Okay, how large is that group? So all this information can be found on the database in the library, or I think a lot of those information can be found online as well. Okay, so what are the size distribution of the income within the populations? So like I mentioned, you know, this can be found in the library database, and then maybe online as well. So is the sales volume for this kind of business growing, remaining stable, or declining? So like my brother and I, we were talking about what stocks to buy, because the stock market is dropping now, so it's good timing to enter. So he's like, why don't you buy Facebook? And I was like, no, but Facebook is for all people like us, so it's not growing, it won't be growing, because when you guys, even when you are older, you are not going to start using Facebook. It's for us, for people already use it. So they are not growing. So I said, maybe I'll look at Snapchat. Snapchat is for like younger people. Oh, wait, let me do a quick survey. How many people are using Snapchat? If you use Snapchat, press type in 7. If you don't, type in 0. Yeah, so I have younger generation like you guys. Even my daughter use Snapchat. And then one time she add me, she helped me to create an account. And then her friend and her, they had a group, and somehow they invited me to the group, and they my daughter told me to make a video, but when she showed me, she can edit the video, but somehow when I make the video, I didn't edit it, and I just sent. So they were all laughing at me because I don't know how to do it. Yeah, but I thought, oh, Snapchat it's good, because actually, like, a lot of my friends started to learn how to use Snapchat. And my friend actually sent me, she said the Snapchat, sometimes they can like it's more private, it's more personal, like she would send something to me, just to me. But on Facebook, you have to set up different ways. It's more like, it's more public. So she said, try to send you more personal stuff. And I said, I don't know how to use Snapchat. Where do I see those things? I don't know how to, I don't know how to find those things. Yeah. But the fact that I actually have friends that are willing to learn and actually use it and try to make me use it, I thought, that's a good company. I might look at their stock and then buy it. So going back to the sales volume. So I think Snapchat has more chance to grow than Facebook. Yeah, so I would definitely want to buy stock for Snapchat, not Facebook. Yeah, so it's just some kind of way of thinking. So for your business, your idea, you also can think about this, like whether or not it's the volume might be growing, or it will be stable, or it would be declining. Okay, and then what are the numbers and size of the competitors, and the success rate for competing in the businesses, and any technical things you have to take care of. If you don't know the technical aspect, can you find someone that might know? If you find someone that might know, how do you protect your idea from being stolen by the people that know? Okay, so I think that's it for today. And I think some people are confused about how we are going to run the class, not business, run the class. So in theory, I would do face-to-face class on campus on Wednesday. And then Monday, we'll have this virtual Zoom meeting. And on Friday, there won't be any like class, but you still have work. The work is to read people's podcasts. For those who sign up to post your podcast on certain Friday, that's your work. So does it make sense? But for you guys, you don't, if it's face-to-face, you don't have to come here. You are not even required to attend Zoom, even though if you attend Zoom, it will make it easy, like more fun for me. Like if I ask you to put it in chat, or I ask questions, I have response. Otherwise, I'll be talking to the computer. So it's more flexible for you guys than me. So me, I'll do virtual on Zoom on Monday, face-to-face, and I will still record the class on Wednesday. So it's your choice to join the Zoom during the class time, or you can choose to watch the video afterwards, or You know, if you are confident, you don't need to do anything to watch the video to get high grade in the test. You know, it's your choice. Okay, so you have the kind of flexibility. Any questions?
Professor,
Yes.
on the syllabus, it says test 1 is due today. Are we still doing that?
No, everything. Okay, so everything is on D2L, and if you go to D2L, I didn't set the due date. So in theory, you just need to finish everything by May 7th. Let's say May 8th. Okay, so that I have a week to grade, to submit your grade. Okay.
Okay.
So in theory, you have that till the end of semester. But if something happened that you couldn't do it, please email me and I will give you incomplete, and you have 1 year to finish your incomplete. So everything on D2L will still be there. But you do sign up for the podcast. So you do need to do that. Okay, and the final project, I can also give you extension. But the podcast, because you need to give feedback on other people's podcasts. So if there's something happened, you couldn't finish the coursework, the first thing you need to do is podcast. Okay, share your post on podcast and then comment on other people's post. And then you can go back to do the final project, and then you can go back to do the test after the end of semester if something happened. Of course, I hope we don't have to deal with that, but it's just the flexibility I provide during the special time. Okay, if no questions, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Happy Valentine's Day again. Bye.